Oh yes, serious mind. I too support the freedom to marry. Yes, lit the meat cake. I just thought I'd mention what's going on in Minnesota. Who knows, maybe we'll get the right to marry in Minnesota before the Supreme Court decides. Right now after our victory in defeating the marriage amendment last election, now we're looking to actually legalize same-sex marriage. Bills went before the House and Senate, and I've got videos of the testimony for that. But right now we pretty much have the Senate taken care of. The House, we've got about 8 legislators that we need to help make up their mind, because they don't want to say until they figure out where the support is. Well, so actually my area where Jennifer Loon is my representative, she actually produced a survey with a bunch of tax questions and other things, but number 6 on her survey is about legalizing same-sex marriage. And so I've been working with Minnesotans United. I'd say I did it all last summer to defeat the marriage amendment, and then now trying to do this. It's been about 3 weeks a month now. But I've been devoting about 40 hours a week with them. So right now, last Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and tomorrow also, I've had people meet at my house to disperse throughout Eden Prairie and bring the survey around. And so we're getting a lot of surveys filled out, and so then we'll present them to Jennifer Loon, and hopefully she will see that, well, in Minnesota, of the under 40 crowd, 75% are in favor of same-sex marriage rights. So right there, that should tell her that if she wants a long-term job in office, she should get on the right side. Plus, Minnesota did vote 63.8% vote no on the marriage amendment. So it's better than a lot of places in Minnesota, but so I think Jennifer Loon might, if it wasn't for those 2 points, I would think it would be pretty slim. But I think she would have enough brains to know that, well, unless she's already got some other job lined up. But I think she probably wants to stay in office. But yes, Minnesota is moving forward. We've got 8 representatives that we are working on, and within a month we could get it passed. And as soon as we have the votes, it will come up on the floor, and then it passes, and then we can get it done. So yeah, it's lots of fun. I've had a lot of good conversations with supporters, and every once in a while, nah, you know, as soon as they hear who I'm with, they say, oh, you don't want to talk to me. I'm on the other side, or else, I'm sorry, but I don't believe in that. And they just, you know, close the door and go in the house. So, oh, okay, fine. And, but I had one woman, it was kind of funny, and she was saying, yeah, I'll sign it, but I just wonder, you know, a marriage with a man and a man isn't the same as a marriage between a man and a woman. And I said, well, true, but your marriage is not the same as my parents' marriage was. I sure hope not. There are many, as many as there are people, there are different ideas of what marriage is about. You know, my daughter who's married, her marriage is nothing like the marriage my parents had or I had. So that argument that it's not exactly the same. Well, we're not clones. We're not identical, you know. You know, if all men looked the same, acted the same, thought the same, and all women, then I suppose you could say, you know, that it might be an argument, but no. Every marriage is different. There is no identical marriage for anybody. But I've had lots of fun talking to supporters and sometimes having fun talking to people that aren't quite so supportive of same-sex marriage. But yeah, that's what I've been doing lately. And I hope we beat the Supreme Court to the punch, but I also hope the Supreme Court can decide it for the whole country. So, and I also hope that, you know, the Supreme Court, if they see us, Minnesota, moving that way, you know, it'll just be another thing supporting them in coming to a decision favorably for same-sex couples. So I'm looking forward to moving forward. And one thing I tell the people that are opposed, I really haven't gotten a chance because I only want to mention it to the people that are just so arrogant and smug and say, so what do you think about that? I've had that in personal conversations before, and my response to them has been, well, when you consider the under 40 crowd in Minnesota goes 75% pro same-sex marriage, you really have one choice or two choices. Legalize same-sex marriage now, and Minnesota will have the most liberal protection for the religious communities. It will, you know, Minnesota would be the farthest to the right state that actually has same-sex marriage. Or you can wait 10 years when some of the older diehards against same-sex marriage, you know, die off because they just plain are getting old. And the majority of the people that are really old in that age are all against same-sex marriage. So every year we gain in numbers just through attrition. So, you know, we could just take it now. Or we can get the real thing for same-sex couples, where it just has to be accepted, you know. And the way it is right now, if a same-sex couple has a commitment ceremony and they want to have a wedding cake for that ceremony, and if a baker says, I'm not making no cake for no same-sex homosexuals, you know, right now they can get sued for discrimination. Yeah. So, if a wedding photographer wants to be hired by a same-sex couple that's getting a, just having a commitment ceremony, but they're running it like a wedding because that's what they really want. If the photographer doesn't like the same-sex couple part of it, they can get sued right now. No marriage law required. So, come on, let's just get it done. Get it done now so people can get married. So, yep. Let them eat cake. Good night.